Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are. This is Dr. Shiva Ayadure. Today I have a very special guest with me again, Paul Clark, and Paul will be joining us shortly. Paul's a professor of law and also a legal scholar. But what we're going to be talking about is this is a continuation of the discussion Paul and I started a couple of weeks ago about the nature of why I can become president and why it's unconstitutional in order to, if anyone gets in the way of me trying to become president, talking about Article 2, Section 1, because the Constitution has changed and it constantly does keep changing. So Paul and I, a couple of weeks ago, Paul gave an excellent description of about how the Constitution has gone through this process. But one of the important discussions that came up, some of the people on the internet and social media were saying, hey, the Constitution never changes. And according to, Article 2, Section 1, Dr. Shiva can never be president. So obviously this is going to be an educational process we're doing, and we're very, very fortunate to have Paul Clark here. Paul Clark is an eminent scholar, and he's one of the legal scholars who's really written some a wonderful thesis on this, clearly demonstrating that the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment makes it unconstitutional to not allow me to become president. So we discussed that earlier. But today, what Paul and I are going to really get into is the next part of this education, really to educate people about how the Constitution has constantly changed, right? And the various ways it changes. And Paul's going to walk us through some very important discussion on how the Supreme Court and the courts have been involved in supporting the evolution of the Constitution. That's what we're going to talk about today. And in a follow-up discussion, we're going to talk about some very important cases that really went through the court process and clearly stated that you cannot make a naturalized citizen, or naturalized citizen cannot be treated differently than a native-born citizen, further supporting this argument why a naturalized citizen can, in fact, become president. But that'll be for a follow-up discussion. But today, Paul and I are really going to go at it and educate all of you how the Constitution changes, okay? To those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, as many of you know that these platforms are still very, very, still practicing shadow banning and big tech censorship. So this first part of it is we've given a little bit of an overview. Paul, you may just want to say hello to everyone. Paul, are you there?
Hi, Dr. Shiva. Good to have you.
Yeah, great to have you, Paul. So to everyone listening, John, our producer, will switch us over. So please go to vashiva.com and you can see this continuing to run over there. Okay. And we'll just start there. So all of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we encourage you to go to vashiva.com. There's a link that's in somewhere above or below in the description that'll take you over to vashiva.com so you can continue watching this discussion. As John has just put up, click the link to continue or go to vashiva.com to watch the full uncensored video. So we'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're over on vashiva.com. So thank you everyone on Facebook. We'll see you there, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We'll see you.